Hi guys! Today we have a different type of printer to show you, and when I say a different type, it's because this one is a resin 3D printer. The brand name is Kelant and they have three different resin printers available. The D100, the D200 and the one we will see today, the S400. This printer has a very large screen and the print volume is 192 by 120 by 200 millimeters. And now Rui will explain the rest.
Hey you guys! The first thing we find inside the box is the printer's instructions. Next, we have the acrylic panels, all of them identified. The power cord, the power supply, the Z-axis. This one is equipped with a dual linear rail and anti-backlash lead screw nut. These are the enclosure bars. They are all metal, not plastic. A USB flash drive and a bag with lots of screws. An Allen tool set, rubber gloves, hinges and the handle for the door, the top screw for the printing platform and a second hinge, a cutter and a plastic scraper, the ball joint piece for the printing platform, and more metal bars for the enclosure. In the printer's ad, they say that it's included some resin, but the manufacturer said they couldn't ship the resin together with the printer, so no resin was included. Also not included is a spare FEP. I think that would be nice if they included a spare FEP with the printer because it's a consumable. They have it for sale, so we recommend you to order at least one, because if the one you have gets damaged, you will have the spare to replace right away and keep on printing. And finally, the printer itself. At the front, we can see the 3.5-inch color touch screen. And at the back side, we can see a couple of USB ports, the Wi-Fi antenna, a couple of cooling fans, the power input connector and the on-off switch. The input required is 24 volt and 6 amps. At the top, we have the Z motor, the Z optical end stop, and a fan with a filter. This is the build plate, and under that, we have the resin vat. There are a couple of screws that secure the vat. The second one was loose inside the box. And here is the display. This one is very big. The print area is 192 millimeters by 120 millimeters. Inside the big bag, we find many screws, all identified for each step of the assembly. Okay, so now that we have all the parts out, let's start the assembly. But first, use some of the foam to keep the display protected during the assembly. Then, take the Z-axis and install it. We need to align the coupling with the Z motor shaft. Get the 4 M6x15 screws to secure the Z-axis. We decided to use our own Allen keys with round tip because for this step, it's much easier than the flat tip ones that came with the kit. Before tightening the coupling set screws, we need to align the flat side of the motor shaft with one of the set screws. And now we can tighten the set screws. And connect the Z-axis end stop. Next are the vertical bars. The first ones, labeled as B1, need to be installed at the back side of the printer. The one labeled as B2 is installed at the left side, and the one labeled as B3 is installed at the right side. Get the small set screws and use them to secure the vertical bars. Next, take the acrylic plates labeled A1 and remove the protective sheet. Then install them on the sides. For the next step, we need the bar labeled B4 and the curved ones. These will be secured to each other. Pay attention to the orientation of the flat one. The acrylic slot must be facing in. Then we take the acrylic plate labeled A2 and slide it in. Then we use the last bar labeled B6. This one also has orientation the same way as the previous one, with the acrylic slot facing in. And the top of the printer is now ready. Take the top and look for the holes. These need to be facing the back side. Carefully place the top and secure it with 8 screws all around. Next, we need the back acrylic plate, which is the one labeled A3, and install it at the back side. Don't tighten these screws too much or you will crack the acrylic. And now for the door. Take both hinges and install them on the last acrylic plate labeled A4. These hinges are a bit big for this acrylic thickness, and for that reason they will be loose like this, so don't worry. Next, take the handle and the screw out. Together with the handle, we get a big screw, but this one is too long and it's not meant to be used. There's a different screw in the screw bag for this. Use it to secure the handle on the acrylic. And then install the door. You will need to adjust the hinges to make the door open and close correctly. Next, take the build plate and install the ball joint. And then the top screw. Raise the Z manually and remove the foam that was used to protect the display. Then, place the vat and the locking screws. The enclosure is not airtight, which means the smell of the resin will come out. And then install the printing platform on the Z-axis. Use the top screw to secure it. This unit is one of the first versions, and the manufacturer improved this system in the meantime, so the new versions will receive a different printing platform. This new design is more stable and avoids Z-wobble and other issues that was given by the ball joint model. Both plates are completely drilled. This is good because it will be easier for the resin to stick, but it has the disadvantage of wasting more resin at the end because the holes will be filled with resin. Also, make sure the plate does not have any metal debris. If it does, remove them all. And all done. The assembly is now complete. To turn on the printer, we just need to connect the portable power supply and turn on the on-off switch. The manufacturer states that this printer can print up to 30 mm per hour and can do layer thickness as small as 25 microns. The menus are very simple. There is a function button where we can move the Z up and down in 0.1, 10, and 50 mm steps, and a couple of screen expose buttons to test the display. With the exposure options, we can test the display and see if it's working correctly. If you run these tests, make sure you have your eyes protected. This printer uses a matrix of 24 UV LEDs and lenses. This system with multiple LEDs is much better when compared with the single LED models because the light is more accurate on the edges. The electronic is also very simple. You have a small board that is powering the UV LEDs, the display board, and the main board. The display board is connected by HDMI to the main board. You can load the print files by Wi-Fi or flash drive. For the Wi-Fi, you have the configuration menu as well. There is a turn off button, but at the end, you always need to turn off the switch at the back. This printer is compatible with most common resins on the market, as it accepts the 405 nanometer types. Because of the big print area, the vat is also big, and you will need to add a big amount of resin to print even if you want to print a small piece. The print results and review will be for a different video, so stay tuned. That's it, you guys. As always, if you like our work and wish to see more videos from us, you can help the channel with Patreon or PayPal. Just check the video description below for the links. Also, if you enjoyed the video, give us a like and keep following us here on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. We will see you guys next time. Bye!